What's going on, traders? It looks like could it be? No red light, green lights, baby. We're green. Let's go. Let's get it started. Welcome to At the Close. We'll talk all about the market, what's going on out there. If you guys got a stock on your radar, throw it up in the chat and let's get it started.
All right, it is time for pre-market prep at the close.
Three consecutive highs, opened, matched yesterday's low, and then once it took out there, that's all the breakout momentum traders needed.
The Bears got to yawn sometimes. And definitely this was a yawning moment. It looks like it. A little bit of a lift today, Joel. What did you see out there?
Yeah, tough day for the Bears out there. Well, we talked about it this morning. That rally started Sunday night. The Bulls were just suited up, ready to go, and it was off to the races Sunday night. Let up a little bit on Monday, the 1 o'clock close. Boom, reopened at 6. The buyers reemerged, and here we are, just off the highs of the session, 83.75. Nothing for you there, folks. Currently trading up 102 a quarter handles at 37.78. I will note, though, all the volume last week and the quad wage expiration, all the volume in the S&Ps ranging from 2.2 million up to 3 million last Monday, 3.1 million. Today, barely 1.3 or a little over 1.3 million shares changing hands. That's not what you want to see, folks. You want to see some big volume on the up days, and we're not getting that. Similar to what happened last time. Crude getting a little bit of a bounce up, $1.37 at 109.36. Gold in the red by 860 at 1832.20. Silver, let's go to the opposite direction. That's up 9 cents at 21.68. Bitcoin's having a good day. Bitcoin's up $705 at 21,175. And Ethereum futures, they're up more on a percentage basis. They're up $69.50 at 1147.50.
Well, for me, it really wasn't. I know Nicole's making the mention here, so I'll kind of mention it. What a boring day. What markets? I was enjoying this. This was fun today. A little bit of a rally going into it. We could take a look at leadership. I think that's very important because on a day especially like a week like last week, where we saw a lot of leadership kind of give up and really start coming on down. Look at the leadership today. Let's go ahead. Let's roll through some of those names. Then we'll get into some of the catalysts that were out there. But what did you see in the leadership today, Joel?
The big boys. The big boys did the heavy lifting today for the market. And, you look at your big components going all the way. I ran over these this morning. Apple, that's up over 3%. That's more than the market. Microsoft, that's up just about with the market. Google, boom, that's up more than the market. The big one, we kind of have a little egg on our face, Tesla. That made the move up $69. That's your big winner of the components. So just the big boys. The big boys did the heavy lifting and the market follows. And then you also want to look for leadership. Boy, oh boy, the oils come bouncing back with a vengeance. ExxonMobil up nearly 7%. CVX, same thing. So tech oils leading the rally today.
All right, let's go to one that I think, we didn't cover too much about this morning. And, I'll definitely tap myself for that. I'm trying to keep us up on these good catalysts that might make these stocks run. But it was mentioned by, of course, our guest from Pre-Market Prep, Stephanie Link. So shout out to Stephanie. Definitely. Let's go into some Diamondback Energy. Let's take a look at FANG. The energy company shares rose more than 5% after, of course, a board approval on the increase of its capital return program to at least 75% of its free cash flow from the previous commitment of at least 50% free cash flow. And we've been hearing free cash flow being kind of that word that's mentioned, what you're looking for. There you guys have it. Fang getting on up there. And what do you see on the charts there?
I'm seeing a rally, but look at it pausing here, right at the area of Friday's high. So, not a huge level of concern. Much higher open, 133 and a quarter. That was your high on Friday. 133.40 today. With the strength in oil, with the strength of some of these oil stocks, I mean that is up nearly 9%. Taking a pause here. If the Bulls can establish a solid 133 bid here, there's not much in here. We had that big down day. I believe it was on Thursday, where you came down from 146.78 to 133.68. Wow, there's your stopper. There's your reason there. Your close on Thursday, 133.68. So that's the stopping point today. Nowhere near getting back half of the move, but that's what we'll be anticipating. Just taking a little breather at Friday's high. And you know what? A lot of selling on Friday. 9.4 million shares traded, only less than 4 million as we speak right now. So once again, not what you want to see. On a rally, you want to see that rally coming in, or the volume coming in higher on the rallies. Not the case with Diamondback Energy.
All right, let's go ahead. Let's transition over to the Kellogg's. And did you get your Rice Krispies today? Because the market was snack, crackle, pop, baby. It was popping. I enjoyed a little bit, but it looked like Kellogg's wasn't popping a little bit here. After this morning, they announced plans on Tuesday to split into 3 separate public companies here that would be centered around, of course, snacking, cereal, and plant-based business. Just keep me out the plant-based business, but hey, who knows? Let's take a look here at Kellogg's. How did it do in the intraday action?
How you like that? The pre-market prep stock of the day: snap, crackle, and sell the pop. That's what we.
I love it. I love it, Joel.
I wonder how many people use that headline on Wall Street today. Took me. I mean, it didn't come to me during the show. I was thinking about. I know I'm like Rice Krispies pop.
I was hearing them in the morning. I could hear the little crackle in the background.
And they were going. Once again, about financial engineering here. What does that do to the company? And nothing. It's still the same company selling the same soggy cereal, plus milk, getting, the ingredients, milk, being more expensive now. I think people just are eating less cereal. You made a good point. Like, I don't know if I'd be bragging about a plant-based company, right? Let's just take a look at Beyond Meat, and you can see that. So we urge caution in this one. It is now back under $69. You can see the 4 o'clock traders just got way too excited on that one. Taking it down, you almost filled the gap here. That was you missed it by 17 cents, but we still have some time left in the session. So didn't fill the gap yet, but as wrong as we were about the Tesla, we sure did okay with Kellogg K, still in the green, but giving back a lot of those gains.
Okay, let's go towards one that's interesting here. Let's go towards there was an intraday catalyst news on Netflix. And so this has to do with Netflix, Google, and really all about Netflix's ad partner hunt, right? They're kind of looking to kind of bring in some partnerships to kind of increase some revenue. Of course, we know how Netflix has been struggling as of late there. And so they're trying to figure out things here. They did quickly settle on Google, but considered of course, a logical choice for Google, but also tech firm Magnite being mentioned here as a key potential supply side partner. So you're seeing MGNI get a little bit of a lift off of this, and you got to keep your eyes out on kind of all the advertising plays, because I think this is going to have a little bit of effect on those. Have been seeing kind of no love for a little bit, no mentions or anything. And you're seeing MGNI get a little bit of a bounce today. What do you see on that chart?
Well, for this one, kind of stopped in the area you think it might here. $11 and been a high, 11.10, and you had a little easy beatsy gap up to just a 2 penny gap at 11.12. It stopped right in between there at 11.11 and kind of rolled over. Now you have a gap on the downside. Not bad. I say I just wouldn't get too excited about this one until you can establish a bid over $11 and hold it. Just trade in the 11 handle and then fall back into the mid $10 handle. Netflix, I mean, it's just no one cares about Netflix. The stock is has lost its way since that earnings report, and it's just been continuously underselling pressure. Boy, you get to this kind of move in the market, and your stock is down 2.6%, $4.57. That is just a horrible relative performance, relative weakness. 64 and a quarter. That was your low that you put in last week, and I think the low of the move is that the low of the move. Nope, low of the move comes in at 62.71. So holy mackerel, not what you want to see on a, if it was a bad day in the market, yeah, being down 2.5%, but with the S&P up 2.6% and this going the opposite direction, I don't know. I'd be afraid holding on to this one. Looks like it's just raring to take out the low of the move.
Yeah, it seems like they're drawing straws, and you know what they say about drawing straws: don't get caught with the short stick. So we'll see what's going on out there in Netflix. Let's go to Lennar now. Let's keep it going. That's what we're here to do. Get through a lot of the things, and then we'll be able to talk about the ones that you guys want to touch. I did see mentions of Meta. Don't worry, Joel and I had our eyes on Meta. We'll talk a little bit about that. We didn't see any major catalyst out there, but that doesn't mean that there isn't one. So if you guys see anything that you potentially moving Meta, we'll talk about that. Let's go to Lennar here and also the housing numbers that we got today. Lennar getting a beat and a beat here. It looked good here in the pre-market. Then, of course, we get the sales of existing homes in May. They dropped 3.4% to a seasonal adjusted annualized rates of 5.41 million units. This is according to the National Association of Realtors. Sales were down 8.6% lower in May of 2021. This reading is based also on the closing during the month. So what this shows is that we could see some continued signs of the weaknessing here in the housing market, as most of these were signed in March and April. Low supplies is continuing to push home prices even higher, Joel. Can you believe that? The median price of a house sold in May was $407,600, an increase of 14.8% from May of 2021. So the houses are still actually going up right now. That's interesting.
Yeah, I just think that the rates, the incremental rates, people that thought that they were going to be buying a house at one price and having the price determined, but the monthly payment just blowing up in your face. So
Yeah.
yeah, just it had to pop. It got it, it cleared yesterday's high. I just think you just have such a pall over the sector with interest rates and inflation. Hard to be bullish. Good day off the numbers, holding on to some of the gains. Let's see. I mean, for this one, if you think the housing market's turned, sure you can lead on the low of the move there at 62.54. Higher low today. That's a good one. Let's see. Volume is okay, but just overall, just a major downtrend. Shook it off today a little bit. We'll see. We'll see how investors review the report and then take a look tomorrow.
All right, so it's looking like we thought. I had seen the DOJ, and I kind of mentioned that, but it looks like here's the report here. I'll bring it in here. Let's talk about Meta. Let's get into it. I know that's what you guys wanted to talk about in the chat, so
Yeah.
I got you guys. Just do us a favor. Smash up that like. Let's go. All right, let's take a look here. So the United States and
Wow.
Facebook owner Meta Platforms have settled in a lawsuit over housing advertising system that illegally discriminated against Facebook users based on race and other characteristics, the DOJ said on Tuesday. And I'll tell you one thing, and I've learned this in my trading career. You hear mentions of the DOJ. You run like hell the other way. And it seems like investors kind of took that approach today in Meta.
Oh, absolutely horrible, horrible, horrible relative performance on this one. Not down on the day, down $6, 68 cents, 4%. That's a 6.5, 7% difference than the market. New low for the move. Now the news. There must have been some kind of memo that went out, bitch, that me and you didn't get. This took out Friday's high. So this is what the action. It was trying to participate with the market, and then just sellers and this is as the S and P's are just ripping. This just caught just a step down seller, just walked this thing down, just smashing bids. Paused a little bit at 159, but that was even the low of the move. Just had another leg down to 156. And dare I say, April low, COVID low, 150.83 for Facebook. Your March low, the true COVID low, 137.10. This is a round tripper. This stock's in big, big trouble. I don't see how you can be long this thing. Taking out the low of the move, but taking it out by 4 points, and on a day where the market's really good. So bad day, real bad day. I mean, let's do. Do you have a filter for companies that change their symbol? Because if you or change the name of their company, I
Yeah,
mean,
I think
block.
that's definitely a worry. One of the things that, at least from what I'm reading here, Joe, and I'm trying to do a little bit more deeper
Sure.
research while we were going here, is I'm clearly seeing right here, and this was by the U.S. Attorney of Manhattan, because of this groundbreaking lawsuit, Meta will for the first time change its ad delivery system to address algorithmic discrimination. That's a word that you haven't seen too much used or thrown about there. I would really start paying attention to see how this affects other social platforms, right? Because if Facebook got hit, DOJ throws up the red flag. To me, this was similar to what happened in Visa last year in October when they got the red flag, and MasterCard got the red flag also for cryptocurrencies mentions by the DOJ. This could be a really negative outlook for all social media moving forward.
Yeah, I mean, Sheryl Sandberg, hit the road. What was that, last week or the week before? So that, an exodus out of the company from
Yeah.
higher executives, that's not something that you want to see. We just probably got some buying balances maybe across the board. We just had a nice pop up here, trying to close near the highs of the session. So maybe some buying balances, just a little pop. We'll see if that holds into the close. We've been a little weaker here now in this final hour. The advertising portion of their business is just coming unraveled. I mean, just one thing after another. Now the discrimination. Like I said, I mean, I'm trying to find something positive to say about the company, and there's just nothing there. And now with the DOJ getting involved, I believe they might have settled something too. But just and I also saw that Facebook was investigating Sheryl Sandberg, for some of the things that she did with companies' resources. I mean, there's just too much news, and it's all negative for Facebook.
Yeah, I definitely see that, and it's going to be tough. I just don't see, and you seen mentions like one of the things that I wanted to see them is okay if they were jumping all in about the metaverse and the goggles and all this. I wanted to see extreme focus being put out there, products releases, but we saw two of their products actually get pulled off in that area, and so right now I would love to see if there's some bulls out there for Meta. And if you got a case for Meta on the bullish side, holla
I
at
will.
us.
I will. I'm gonna
We would.
mention. I'm gonna mention this tomorrow too with Triple D on. But guess who's going to be swimming in the metaverse?
Oh,
Yep.
guess who's
Yep.
Michael Phelps in the metaverse, man?
I guess what? It's upstairs right now charging. Father's Day present. I got
Uh-oh.
Form Swim goggles. Analyze your stroke. I know I'm gonna break them, but, yeah, and getting through the owner's manual is, quite the thing, I have it's yeah, because it's kinda boring, swimming, working out by yourself, so it's called Form Swim. I think it's formswim.com, and, that gives you workouts, analyzes your strokes and everything, so
What's your race, Joel? Are you a freestyle?
I
Are you a
oh, yeah,
butterfly
I
kind
can
of
do it all.
guy?
I do it all. I do it all.
I used to love the butterfly. I'm not gonna lie. I like that. I like that.
Yeah, I
Hey,
could do it. I did all the strokes. I did, the individ, the races that combine them. I was a distance freestyler, but now in my old age, I'm just, I keep it to the shorter races, and now being an old man. But yeah, I was thinking about the metaverse when I got those for Father's Day. But anyways, market, I'm hanging in here now.
okay.
1.1 billion to the to the buy side, and that's where we're at. We're trying to hold on to a lion's share of these gains. 7 minutes to go in the session.
All right, guys, we'll let you guys throw up some tickers if you guys got anything you guys want us to check on out. I can definitely get into some more kind of catalysts on out there, but it's going to be interesting to kind of see this next couple of days. I think we've gotten a little bit of that dead cat rally. Some people might say the bottom, whatever you might be looking at. I think it's now time to really start looking. Do we get the day two move? I think that's always important. Because there's one thing having one day rallying back. There's another thing when you have continued rally. And so we'll see what happens there. Looks like Alfred wants us to check out your favorite, Joel, DKNG, DraftKings.
Oh, what's going on with DraftKings? Are we
A little bit of a bounce today, a little
little bit of
bounce.
a bounce? Well, that's a nice bounce. Well, let's get the positive things out here. First of all, relative strength was good last week. Did not make a new low for the move. Buyer stepped up from 10, stepped up to the $11 area. But what you got to do now for you, DraftKings, you've had three pops in the last week and a half here, and they've all been up to 1250, 1260 area, and boom, and it stopped it dead in its tracks. So we'll see what happens here. If it can clear 1260, man, I like it. Maybe get some work into the 13 handle. But yeah, I agree with Franz K here. Until you can crack that 1260, you're in trouble. We're losing altitude here, folks. We're getting some profit takers in there. They those buying balances. They said sold to you on this kind of day, a light volume day in the market. We ended our last hour at 79 and yeah, 79 even. That was your high close. But those buying balances once again paired off pretty quickly here. Now we are trying to close in this 3770 handle, but right now that looks like a little bit of a struggle as well. Just gave away a quick 10 points there off that buy and balance pop.
Yeah, it's something to keep on watch. One of the things that I'm seeing on out there right now, and we'll see DraftKings. There's mention out there World Cup plays. Is there anything for World Cup coming on up? That's going to take a little bit, but we'll keep on watch to see if DraftKings can actually kind of lift. One of the things we've mentioned it, right? The cash flow. Cash flow is still way negative there in
Yeah.
DraftKings. So I think until you see that change around, or the environment around stocks kind of change the focus of what is in the forefront of investors right now, which is, of course, we'll say it again, cash flow. And there's just not much flow there in DraftKings.
They spend so much on advertising. I think maybe when I stop seeing their advertisements, I'll think about buying the
It's a
stock.
game
I
of
mean, that,
survival, man. It's a game of
yeah,
survival. They play that game like, well, these little small players aren't going to be around for 10 years, but we can be around for 10 years and we'll just keep spending the money on advertising and eventually look at profitability. We'll see that maybe start turning around there if we
I,
keep seeing the share price go lower.
I mean, that's just the the free money. People don't have their stimulus checks to put in there, and I don't know. It's sad to see for shareholders, that's for sure. Look at Fubo, under $3 here.
Yeah, Fubo,
Yeah,
Fubo.
Fubo.
I still remember when we pointed to the upside for a while, and then it just started slowly leaking. One of the things that I also, and I mentioned this when I talked about it a little bit on earlier, was I don't see too much mentions of their sports betting. Like, right? They wanted to really kind of transition into that, be kind of a platform there. And yeah, they do have some advantages in soccer, but I don't really see them taking too much of the streaming away from, let's say,
Yeah.
like we saw Apple TV take a big step up, right? And they got the all MLS and things like that. I think Fubo's not doing that necessarily. They just have advantages, some channels. I don't know how long this can
How do you
last.
bet on? I tell you, this is how I would bet on soccer. Okay, whatever the over under is, I would take the under every
Yeah.
time. It's just
Yeah, I can't blame you for that
one
outlook.
nothing. No, they probably adjust the lines for that, but I
Yeah,
don't
they
know
do.
how interesting it can be when it's from a gambling perspective when it's so low scoring. But I'm sure people have their angles. All right, well, we are not going to close in the 37.70 handle. Well, no, you don't know for sure. Currently trading 37.65. Just too much profit taking here in the final minutes here. We got 2 minutes until the close. So just a little bit of sell off. I mean, we did have a beyond average range day, right, to the
Mhm.
upside. So to see this, see a little bit of turn at the end. I had a little bit of a wrap. No, Friday. I know I wasn't around on Friday, so I can't remember what we did into the close, but still going to have a good day, but not a great day. So maybe pick one more stock in here before the
Yeah.
close. Maybe that
Uh,
37.70 print is still waiting in the wings.
all right, let's do one last one. Let's sneak into Twitter. It's closing well here, at least in my eyes.
Yeah.
Interesting close, at least.
Yeah, it's a strong close, broke out of the trading range. A little bit of appetite for the arb. I think this one's just I mean, technically, you did have a breakout. I guess it just be what Musk's next tweet would be regarding the deal. But
That
that's
is
it.
true.
Yeah,
That
that's
is
it.
true.
Well, we're closed, man. I believe we're closed,
That's
right?
it. That's it. Does that mean we're done, Joel? Does that mean we're done? Yes, sound the alarm. Sound the alarm. We're wrapping up the day. I hope that you guys join us tomorrow on, of course, pre-market prep, where we got the great guest that we had today, Stephanie Link. If you guys missed that interview, please go back and take a look at that. Even I saw other media starting to do coverage on that. So you might want to check that on out. She did give some great kind of picks from her own view. Of course, it's for a little bit more long term, but go ahead and check out that interview if you, for any reason, missed it today. All right, Joe, that's gonna do it for us. We'll be back tomorrow, like always, and I'll see you tomorrow, Joel. Let's keep on battling. All right, guys, that's gonna do it for us. Up next, let's keep going. It's Tuesday, so what does that mean? It's time for some Cannabis Insider. Let's go over to some cannabis content. We'll go ahead and find out what's going on in the cannabis industry. And like always, guys, do me the favor, smash the like on the way out.